So what are indices? Indices are used to show how many times to multiply a specific number to itself. The index is written on the top right of a number. Example, 7 to the power of 2 equals 7 times 7. So now that we know what indices are, what are the laws of indices? The laws of indices are types of rules to do with indices that enable you to more efficiently write out numbers with powers. Rule 1. Multiplication. N to the power of A multiplied by n to the power of B equals n to the power of A plus B. N can have the value of any number. The mathematical term for n is the base. A and B are the indices. They both have different values. In summary, the first law of indices states that when multiplying a base that is the same, the two indices must be added together. This will give you a new index and form a simpler expression. Here is an example of law 1. 2 is our base, and 2 and 3 are our indices. As you can see, 2 and 3 have been added together to make 5 as our final index. Our new simpler answer is 2 to the power of 5. Now pause the video to try this question. The answer is 7 to the power of 11. 7 remains as our base number, and 11 becomes our new index because we added 5 and 6 together. On to rule 2, division. N to the power of A divided by n to the power of B equals n to the power of A minus B. The second law states that if your base number is the same and you are dividing, then you must take the bottom index away from the top index, i.e. B away from A. Here is an example of the second law. 2 is our base number, and 5 is the index at the top, and 3 the index at the bottom. As you can see, 5 take away 3 gives us 2, making 2 the new index, and our simpler new answer 2 to the power of 2. Pause the video right now to try the question below. The answer is 4 to the power of 4. On to rule number 3, brackets. N to the power of A to the power of B equals n to the power of A multiplied by B. The third law states that when raising a power to another power, you must multiply the two powers together. Here is an example of the third law. Our base is 2 and our indices are 3 and 4. To raise a power to another power, we must multiply the indices together, and 3 multiplied by 4 gives us a new index of 12, making our new answer 2 to the power of 12. Now pause the video and try the question below for yourself. The answer is 9 to the power of 3. Rule 4, 0. N to the power of 0 equals 1. The fourth law states that any number to the power of 0 equals 1. This is as any number divided by itself equals 1. Here is an example of the fourth law. 6 is our base number, and 0 is the power. 6 to the power of 0 equals 1. Have a go at the question below. Pause the video if necessary. The answer is 1. Rule 5. Negative powers. N to the power of negative A equals 1 over n to the power of A. The fifth law states that when you have a base to a negative power, it can also be written as 1 over the base to the same power, but the power being positive. Here is an example of the fifth law. Our base is 4 and our index is -2. This can also be written as 1 over 4 to the power of 2. Pause the video to try the question below. The answer is 1 over 5 to the power of 6. Rule 6. Fractional indices. N to the power of A over B equals B root of n to the power of A. Law 6 states that a number to the power of a fractional index will have the numerator of the index become the power of n inside a root, with the denominator becoming the root of n to the power of the numerator. Here is an example of Law 6. 2 is our base, and 3 is the denominator, and 2 is the numerator. 2 will become the power of the base, while 3, the denominator, will become the root of n to the power of the numerator. Pause the video and have a go at the question below. The answer is the second root of 4 to the power of 1. Here are some practice questions. Pause the video and unpause when you're ready. Here are the answers. Here are some tips on indices. 1. When multiplying, remember the correct operation is adding the indices, not multiplying. 2. Remember to never confuse any of the indices and sort their positions, especially when fractional indices are involved. 3. Write out the full formula first before answering the question to clear the confusion.